Hello there, my name is Honest Englishman and welcome to this video about the Colossus Javelin from Anthem. In this video I'm going to give you a brief overview of the Colossus and give you an idea of what it can offer, and I'll try to help you answer the question of whether this is the right javelin for you. The Colossus is a heavy bruiser style class of javelin. It performs best at medium to close range, however it does have some artillery style gadget or skill options which do give it a little bit of a range option. However, as I say, it's much better at medium to close range. It makes a great frontliner. It offers a level of tanky support, and it does have a taunt, but at the same time, it can't keep enemies taunted for long, and it's not really a fully fledged tank. If you regularly play a tank character, this might be the one that you want to pick, but at the same time, don't expect it to perform like a regular tank in a game. On the one hand, it feels somewhat tanky, but on the other, it feels like if you're the focus of enemy fire for too long, your shield can go down, and if the shield goes down, you're really quite squishy. This javelin has a heavy feeling when you're using it. When you're playing this character, it really does feel the way that it looks. They really nailed the controls in the way that it truly feels heavy to play. Which is a nice segue towards flying. This javelin has the worst flying of any of the javelins. It feels heavy, it feels slow, it feels clunky by design. It's the worst for staying airborne. The recharge time for flying is actually quite good, but the flight or hover time is not. It just feels purposely slow and clunky, and you really aren't going to be focusing on staying airborne with this character. So if you don't like the idea of flying, this might actually, again, be a good choice. Now for the shield. The shield is actually instead of your evasion skill or your dodge skill. So you can't dodge attacks coming towards you, you have to use your shield to block them instead. So you're a much more stationary character, but you do have that shield to give the extra tankiness. So the shield has its own health bar, and once that depletes, the shield is put away. You can't bring the shield out again for a short duration once that happens. It does offer a moderate level of tankiness, and it can be used to charge against enemies and knock them down in a path, a bit like a bull's rush kind of attack while sprinting. It can also be used while flying, which is quite interesting, and if you hit enemies who are flying, you can actually knock them out of the sky. If you can do this with an interceptor in your group, they are going to be singing your praises, because those things are a pain in the arse for interceptors. Interceptors are full melee, so if they have their guns, but 90% of their damage is coming from their melee. So if you can just knock those enemies out of the sky by bashing into them, they are going to really have a much better time of things. So it's a great thing to pair up with an interceptor. With your shield out, your melee skill turns into a bash instead, which will knock enemies down. Now the downsides are you cannot use abilities while your shield is up. It will put it away, it won't give it a cooldown or anything, it will just put the shield away when you use your skill, and then if you want to use it again, you have to use the evasion button, which is by default control, to bring back your shield every time. The shield can also be quite short lasting if it's under heavy fire, so if you're getting hit by some tough enemies or lots of enemies at once, it can go down fairly quickly. There are components you can put, which are basically like mods for your javelin. You can put those into it to create a more tanky shield. Something else worth mentioning is that the Colossus doesn't get an energy shield like the other javelins, it just has that physical shield. As for the regular melee attack, it's a short range AoE slam, and if you're flying, you'll do a larger area of effect with your slam when you use it. You'll basically use yourself as a missile and then slam the floor with your fist, which will knock enemies back in a nearby area. As for the skills, some notable things worth mentioning would be the fact that they have a unique flamethrower, which feels like having another weapon. That has a good conal AoE, and it's again a medium to short range weapon, but it melts enemies, pun intended. They also have an armor piercing railgun attack, and as I mentioned, they have access to artillery skills like mortars and rockets, etc. As for support skills, there's an area taunt which can help you take aggro on the enemies, and there's a group damage reduction buff which can help your whole group be more tanky. For the ultimate, it's a slow firing grenade launcher. It fires 3 shots and has great area damage. It has decent single target damage, but I would say it's more powerful for area damage. With regards to the guns, they have access to all of the same weapons that everyone else does. However, they get access to unique heavy weapons. For example, they get autocannons or Gatling guns, and they get grenade launchers. Both can be very potent and they feel very heavy to use, much like the javelin itself. In summary, I would say that if you enjoy being up close in the enemy's faces and you like playing with heavy weapons, or you regularly play as a tank player, then this could be quite a good fit for you. It's also great if you want a non-melee alternative to the Interceptor, and if you use it competently, you can give quite a decent level of support and be quite a good asset to your group. That concludes my overview of the Colossus. I hope that this video was both informative and helpful for you in deciding whether this is the right javelin for you. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like. If you disliked the video, feel free to leave a dislike. And let us all know what you think of the Colossus in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Bye for now.